Right then, hello everyone, and welcome to the ACOC. Today here we have, well, the second time we're here in Qatar for the penultimate round of the 2021 Formula One World Championship. Yeah, it's been a long season, and now we're just one door away before we open the final one, which then will be Abu Dhabi. But right now, we take things step by step, and we're here in Qatar, in Losail once again, for those who missed some of the information last stream, so you might want to get some information about the track. So I've searched up something for you. The Losail International Circuit, the only motorsport facility in Qatar. Of course, Qatar is a pretty small nation in the Middle East, bordering only Saudi Arabia, I'm pretty sure. Of course, you might know Qatar from the 2022 World Cup, but yeah, the Losail International Circuit is Qatar's only motorsport facility, and it got well known because of MotoGP and I think Superbikes as well. In fact, Formula One in Qatar is actually quite a new thing, as they did come here in 2021, like you can see here, and then came back to it in 2023, like you saw this year. And from next year on, they will host the Qatar 1,812 kilometers, which the name wonders me as well. I have never heard something like that, but they decided the names, not I. But today we're here in Qatar, as I already said, and right now we're on board with Will Parrish, who was the first car on track, and he's setting his lap time. Of course, we're here in Q1. To sum up the title fight, just for anyone wondering, only the top four are still in it, that being the two Mercedes of Enis Parashki and Jesper Johansson, and the two Red Bulls of Alfred Klausen and Dennis Graf. And in order, it is Enis Parashki 1 point ahead of Alfred Klaus, Jesper Johansson 35 points behind his teammate, and Dennis Graf 38 points behind Enis Parashki. Of course, the main two battling this out are Enis Parashki, who's been up there all season, and Alfred Klaus after a very strong end of season, and probably still having, although you have to reconfirm that this race has caught up all the way up to Ennis and even led the championship at 1 point before Ennis overtook him just last race. Now, how will the championship look like after this round? We'll have to find out, as we'll first have to get through the qualifying session. Now, I would go through with the track, but I guess we're gonna wait till Will Parrish sets his lap. I mean, not much to say about the track, because the track certainly does not have any corner names. I'm a big lover for corner names, so that kind of saddens me. But let's see Will Parrish's lap time. It's gonna be a 1:31.4, so that's the time to beat right now. Let's see what the other drivers will set. Of course, this circuit, though, just to recap quickly, 16 turns. And as you can see here, there's the main straight where the drivers then will start the race. Snishka right now is on pole with a 1:38. Broster right behind him. Good lap from the man in the Williams. Farina is in third. Snishka's teammate. Yeah, we're seeing the first few times coming in. Still 14 cars to go. Johansson, the new provisional post hitter, 1:32. Pretty good lap time. So that's going to take quite a bit to beat. But the lap time seems to be around the 1:30s. And I predict we're going to get into the 1:29s as well. Adelberg there setting a lap time as well, just ahead of his teammate Parashki, our new provisional post hitter, 1:31. He ups the level for all the other drivers. But of course, this is just Q1, so you're just gonna try and get a bit acclimatized with the track, see what works, what doesn't. But of course, for the teams further to the bottom, they're gonna look to give it all already to get into a possible Q2. As here we have Klaus and one of the Williams, one of the Aston Martins riding. I don't think that's the session for it, but Klaus there setting the third fastest time. Now we're looking at Toss. Yeah, that was Toss who was battling with Klaus there. Yeah, Schuto up to 6th. Graf up to 4th. So we got the 4 championship contenders all in the top 4 right now here in Q1. Only 2 cars to set our lap time until we have our first view at how our Q1 session will look like. And there you have it. Kulasec up to 10th. Did he set an improvement there, or did he set a new lap time? I'm not sure, but he's up to 10th. And right now, the elimination zone looks to be Fraser, Wale, Tost, Gamba, and Albon. Fraser, actually, for being in the Haas, surprisingly, he's not. He's quite close to getting into Q2, so it seems to be one of the best qualifying sessions I've seen in the last few races. Of course, the Haas not having the best of years this season, the only team to not score any points at all. Maybe they're trying to change it this weekend or the next one. They'll have to find out. But Gamba also in his Alpine, only 19th. which Alpine do have potential to do better than that. Tost as well, only in 18th, even though he's been the leading Aston Martin man this season. But it's just Q1. It's just 5.5 minutes left. So there's going to be more time for the drivers to set their lap. Klaus sets an improvement, gets himself closer to Johansson and Paraschke. Arnold up to 11th. And McIntyre splits the Red Bulls. He's up into 4th. Good lap from the man of the McLaren. I'm looking at Gamba here though, as we've been. There's actually quite a four-way pack here to set their qualifying lap. Although I'm not sure if that will. As they're getting it back into the pits, as I assume being in that pack kind of slowed them down. Let's see what time Mandich sets. No improvement at all, but he's still up there in P7, so he seems to be clear for a Q2 entry. Albon there, I'm not sure if he said an improvement, but it sure was not a positional improvement, so he stays there in P20. Farina gets himself up to 10th. Now then, about 5 minutes remaining. Wale is just just underneath the safe spot, which I guess is P15. So Parrish is just above the cutoff line. Wale is about 1/10 from that. So he's gonna try and set a good lap time to either overtake Parrish or close down the gap. Although he would want the first option to be the first option to happen. As now he's going through turn 14 and then turn 15. I like the corners here to go up, down, up, down. It's quite a fun track. Quite a nice track to drive on. And then coming around the final corner, there's also a McLaren behind him, so let's see what lap time McLaren will set. I'm not sure if that's Schutter or McIntyre. Let's look at Wale now though. Will he get ahead of Parrish? Yes, he will, up to 13th. Great stuff. Now Alberg, Parrish's teammate, is just above cutoff. Quite an unusual performance for AlphaTauri, but AlphaTauri is probably the team that have impressed me this season, because they've had a pretty solid driver lineup. I have to admit it. Parrish and Alberg just seem to be perfect duo, and they've brought in some good results and got AlphaTauri up to 6th, but not that 6th could turn into a 5th, as they are battling with Alpine in the Constructors' Championship right now. Alpine on 97 points, AlphaTauri on 85. Now we're going driver's eye with Parrish as well, so I guess I can take you to the track here as he goes through turn 1. Very long right-hander. And then directly you have turn 2 here. Of course, turn 1 could promise itself to be one of the overtaking opportunities, and after turn 2 you go through the little kink that is still a turn, so it's turn 3. And then double right-hander, turn 4, and then turn 5. Then you have a small straight, and you get into sort of a hairpin here. Turn 6, hard on the brakes. You need to get that good turning in. And then small straight once again. You go into turn 7, long turning again as well, just not as sharp as turn 6. Then a small kink that is turn 8, and then into turn 9. Then you go straight into turn 10. Once again, long turning, a lot of long turns here in Qatar. Then this counts as turn 11, the small kink here on this curved straight. Then into turn 12 and directly into turn 13. And then once again into turn 14. Kind of like a triple apex corner, although it is 3 corners split into 3. Then that was turn 15. Then a small straight once again. And you find yourself in turn 16. And then pedal to the metal, foot to the throttle, whatever you want to say. You head down the straight, and there will be a lap time. Now let's see what Parrish can do if he get himself out of the Q1 spots. No, he can't. Not looking good for Will Parrish here. He'll have to set another lap time to somehow find an improvement. Although I think the Alpine in front of him might have obstructed him a bit, as you did not want to go into the car in front of you. That's for sure. Fraser there sets an improvement. Kulisic as well. But yeah, the people getting eliminated right now would be Fraser, Tost, Parrish, Gamba, and Albon. Tost, Parrish, and Gamba have not been able to improve. FG up to 6th. Good stuff in his Alfa Romeo there. From the former Formula 1 race winner. Tost here. in 14th was able to get himself out of the Q1 elimination spots, although he's still very close to them. About 1 minute left in the session. Let's see what the drivers here can do. Right now, to sum up the top 5, it's Parachki, Klaus, Johansson, Schutter, and McIntyre. The McLaren's looking strong today. While they're just above the, I guess, the risk zone, trying to set a better lap time to make it not as risky for him. Then we look at Gamba, who also needs to set a good lap time to get himself out of those spots and match his teammate Losail, who would right now be qualifying into Q2. So let's see what the Italian can do. Process as an improvement. I don't think he was positional. Yeah, good stuff from the Williamsons as well. Both right now would be getting into Q2. So looking good for them. As Gamba comes across the line, it's a good improvement up to 8th. That's a lap that will surely put Gamba into Q2. Parrish had an improvement as well, but it's not a positional one. And now the checkered flag is being waved. Let's see, Fraser will be the first one to set his final lap. And Fraser, he was not able to improve. Kulasic in 13th, 7 improvement, although not a positional one. Let's see, Adelberg now gets himself out of the Q1 spots. Now it's tossed. Wale, Fraser, Parrish, and Albon who will be getting knocked out. I think that's Shooter there who went into the pits. Let's look at Wale now. He's in the elimination spots. What can he do now? A Chinese man in the Alfa Romeo. As he's coming around to the final corner. Nope. He goes into the pits, and that's Wale out of the session. And now we're looking at Arnold. Right now he won't be getting through, although he wants to make his situation a bit more comfortable. So now, around the final corner, Alexander Arnold will finish his lap time. It is going to be a 1:31.5. It's not an improvement, but he still would be going through right now. Broster, I think he's pretty safe, but let's see if he comes to the pits or goes for a lap. He goes for a lap. But he goes to finish on his lap. And it will be a 1:39. Not an improvement, but pretty close to his best time right now. Although I think he's into Q2. Let's look at Gamba now. It's a good improvement up to 8th. I'd say he's pretty safe. Although goes on another lap. And the lap is an improvement even. 5th. So Gamba really turned up in the session. Parrish only gets himself up to 18th. And that means it's tossed in 16th, while in 17th, Parrish in 18th, and the two Haases of Fraser and Albon in 19th and 20th. Yeah, pretty unusual to see Toss down there getting eliminated already in Q1. It's not what we see. Also, while they're getting beaten by his teammate, FG did get through into Q2. And then Parrish, only 18th. Doesn't seem like it's his day today. That means he's already out in Q1. But yeah, that means now we will go into Q2. Let's see who will qualify for, well, the final shootout. That will be Q3 between the 10 drivers, as you already know. Although we'll just quickly talk about the Constructor Championship as well, as I was talking about it before, between Alpine and AlphaTauri. Although the main fight, and quite a close one as well, is Mercedes against Red Bull. It's only 4 points between the two giants. And they're as close as their drivers are. So let's see, it's not only a title fight, it's also a very close fight for the constructors. So you're going to have to see how that unfolds. Also a very interesting fight. Ferrari v McLaren, they're only separated by 1 point. Ferrari being 1 point ahead of the Papaya team. Ferrari 185, McLaren 184. Although McLaren were looking a bit stronger than Ferrari today. Today's race could decide not only who will be in first in the Constructors' Championship, but also who will be in third, and who will be in fifth if AlphaTauri get enough points out of Alpine. So I know the Drivers' Championship is the exciting thing where you look at the drivers, but I'd say don't count out the Constructors' Championship. It's looking pretty interesting. But yeah, now we're gonna wait as we head on to qualifying soon enough. Otherwise, for the championship, both Haas drivers still looking for the points I've already mentioned. But here we are again. We're back onto the track. McIntyre seems to be the first car out. I think he finished the session last time, the session in Q1 in the top 5. As well as Shooter was also close to the top 5, if not in the top 5. It's looking quite interesting. But now we're going to have to wait a bit until the first times come in. McIntyre will be the driver to set the benchmark for this session. As drivers will go on to be either slower or faster than that lap time. Yeah, of course, now into Q2. A bit less time than Q1. Only 10 minutes. So you have to be even more precise with your lap time, as you already know. Otherwise, Parachki was on in Q1 he was on the top spot, just like last race. He did qualify in pole. Let's see if he can repeat himself at the same track. Maybe it would just mean that he quite likes Losail here. But now McIntyre will go into his lap. Otherwise, I'm trying to look for anything to talk about this right now. This is a kind of a quiet part for qualifying. But, of course, always something to look out to here in Formula 1, as you know. Fastest cars in the world, as you already know, and it's actually pretty interesting to see them go through Losail, as I've already mentioned before. It's mostly known as a MotoGP track, and I also only knew it as a MotoGP track until 2021. And honestly, F1 cars on it, I'd say, for me, I'm pretty. I'm not sure if I like it or if I don't like it, but I guess if it works, it works. Just depends on the working conditions. That well, actually, it was pretty interesting how the heat affected drivers a lot. But now McIntyre will set a lap time. It's the first in the 129s, so the drivers are getting faster. 129.3 is the lap time that Lewis McIntyre has set. Now, what will the other drivers respond to that? Gonna have to take a look. Klaus 129.5, not ahead of McIntyre. That's pretty interesting. Seems like McIntyre set a pretty good lap time. Parachki 129.5. That's pretty interesting. Seems like McIntyre set a really good lap time. Adelberg 129. Oh, those are already in the 30s. Arnold 134. Adelberg 136. And Kulisevich 131. So 129 seemed like the fast time. Farina 129.7. So about half of the drivers are running half at their lap time. Or waiting for the other half. 5 minutes to go, so the drivers have to get onto the track quickly and set those lap times, and even less time in Q3. But now again, I think driver coming on faster right now will set the 8th time. Let's see who that will be. And it is Lamas Nisca, gets himself behind his teammate, so it's Ferrari taking up the 4th and 5th spots. That's Nisca with a 1:30.0. Now then, we're waiting for other 7 drivers. Also looking at Klaus, who is 1 second on a lap. Now he's coming around the final turn. Let's see if he can set a better lap time than McIntyre. I think that was Kulisevich. No, I'm not sure who set a lap. It was Graf with a 129.7. Klaus now comes across the line, sets an improvement, 129.4, but McIntyre still on pole. Provisionally, of course. Gamba 129.6. Seems like he was just struggling a bit in the beginning. Schulte only the 130s. Johansson in 7th only. FG right behind him in 8th. Adelberg there. I think he already was on the track, but he set an improvement there in 14th. Rossen now gets himself on the board. He's 11th, and Mandic in 14th. So right now, Farina, I think improved up to 4th. Yeah, he did improve there. So right now, the people the drivers who would be getting excluded would be Broster, Arnold for the 2 Williams, Schuto, but I think he's gonna set a better lap time. If not, though, that would be quite a big surprise for the man in the McLaren. Then we have Mandic and Adelberg, who will all be going out. Kulisevich right now is right on the cut-off line, I guess you can call it that, 4 minutes to go. So let's see what these drivers can do. Sasnishkai sets an improvement itself just ahead of FG. So improves by 1. Now we're looking at Shuto, who is going through turn 13 and then going through turn 14. And then he will turn left for turn 15 and then straight on into turn 16. And then we'll see what lap time he can give us. This is going around the final corner right now. He's not going to come to the pits, so let's see. What lap time will Shuto set? Will he get himself out of the Q2 elimination spots? Yes, he will. He's up into 6th. Good lap. That first lap probably was getting held up by someone. But Johansson, up to 6th. He's not there in the top spots like he was last session, but it would still be enough to get himself through. He's right behind his teammate right now, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe I mistook that car for another car. Mandic improves by 1 position, gets himself ahead of Arnold. Brosser right now looking to get himself into Q3. He's just, that's 100th behind there in FG. So, to be exact, it's 9,000 feet behind the Swedish driver. If you could beat that lap time, we could see the winning of Brosser into Q3. Which would be quite an interesting sight. And of course, a good qualifying result for the iconic Williams Racing, but he will have to set that lap time. Now Sasnishka gets himself up into 6th, so a bit safer into Q3. McIntyre is still with the best lap time, 1:29.3. Seems like that lap time was really great. I wasn't expecting it to be that good, but he proved me wrong. Now it's Janssen just ran his teammate. Maybe he's getting a little bit of slipstream from Parachki. Or he could be just getting held up. We'll find out at the end of this lap if it will be an improvement. Janssen, who is sitting right now in 7th. He would like to get a bit of a more comfortable position. But he heads back into the pits, as does the other Mercedes. Schutama up into 4th. And right now, gonna see Adelberg if he can get his AlphaTauri into the Q3 spots. No, he does improve, but only up to 13th. Brosser now ahead of FG, and he would be qualifying to Q3 right now. So FG will have to find a response to that. Mandic up to 12th. Right now, the drivers eliminated would be FG, Mandic, Kulasec, Adelberg, and Arnold. Quite interesting to see Brosser there. Gamba also with a good lap in his Alpine. Of course, the McLaren's 1 and 4th right now. Pretty good stuff from the McLaren. Seems like they could overtake Ferrari this weekend in the Constructors. Now let's look at Kulasec. Can he get himself alongside his teammate into Q3? That doesn't seem like he's an improvement. Now we're looking at Sasnishkai. Can he get in a bit of a more comfortable spot? It's a very comfortable spot, and he's up into 3rd. Just behind Klaus and McIntyre. So good stuff there by the Serbian in the Maranello-based team. Now we're looking at the other Italian team on the grid, or well, just by name, because as you know, this is actually Sauber. Well, I guess owned by the Sauber group, but nonetheless, FG in his Alfa Romeo trying to find a response to Alex Prost's lap time. It's a 1:29.8. Can FG do better than that? Right now, he has a 1:29.9. No, he comes back into the pits, and I think that's FG out because it's half a minute left in the session. Shoot yourself, that's an improvement, by the way. Let's go Graf, who's only down in 9th. Can he get himself up into a better spot? 8th. Although Janssen now is there in 9th. Adelbeck up to 11th. I guess we'll go on another lap. Proster set on a lap time, but not better than his current one. Kulasec is in 14th right now. He'd like to join his teammate in the Q3 spots, as now the checkered flag is being waved. So not much time for the drivers left. Let's see what Kulasec can do here. As he's gonna head into turn 16 now. The final corner, let's see. Full power down the straight. What will it be for Wojtek Kulasec? It will be... Oh, it's not an improvement. That's Kulasec out in Q2. Sasnishkai. He's in a pretty safe spot right now. Gonna look at Klaus. Oh, he's actually up on his time right now. By 300. Can he set a better lap time than McIntyre? We'll have to find out. Although Klaus right now is still in a pretty comfortable spot. So I guess he could also end this lap, but he could end this lap and come back to the pits, or he could just go on. But no, he chooses to come back into the pits. He realizes he's in quite a comfortable spot. About Shuto, he's also in 4th. He wouldn't need another lap time, but he goes for it anyway. Let's see if he can get himself closer to his teammate who's been on pole all session long, and it's a McLaren 1-2 in Q2. Great stuff from McLaren here, as now both of the drivers are, well, on the front row. Graf could not set an improvement, he's only in 8th. What about Broster now? Broster does set an improvement, although he's in 10th. Mandic comes back into the pits. Kula said he's on a lap. He's the only one who could disrupt Broster's Q3 entry, because Arnold, Mandic, FJ and Alberg are on the pits. So now it's all eyes on Kulasec. And let's see what the Czechman will be able to do. Will he come back into the pits, or will he finish his lap time? Try and join his teammate Franco Gamba into Q3. He will end his lap time. Let's see now. Oh, and it doesn't count. I guess he already finished his lap time before. So it is Broster in Q3. Adelberg, FG, Mandic, Kulasec and Arnold are out in Q2. Very interesting session with FG for the Alfa Romeo qualifying quite well. Of course, he scored his first points of the season last time out, so I guess he quite likes Qatar as a track. Then we have Alberg beating out his teammate today, Will Parrish, although he couldn't get himself into Q3, just outside of it. Mandic is 13th, not the best of sessions for Aston Martin today. Kulasec could not join his teammate Gamba, so he has to start from 14th, and Alexander Arnold starts from 15th. Another good job on getting to Q2 as well. So Broster in Q3, quite an interesting result. Of course, Broster, who has been very solid all season long, we have to say, although he hasn't scored points in the last 4 races, but before that, he scored an excellent 6th in Monza, getting 8 points in the bag, as well as, well, that did equal his best race result of 6th this season, which he did get in Bahrain at the initial round. And then he also scored points. He scored 2 points in Azerbaijan and 1 point at his own Grand Prix at Silverstone. It's been quite a good season for the tools he has to work with. Of course, Williams trying to come back. Of course, they have not had the best of seasons in the past, but the iconic team is trying to head for a comeback in next coming years. And it seems like Broster could be a reference point for them to go off to, although I think his talent will want to be snapped up by some higher team. But let's see if it will be that he will move away, or if Williams will be able to keep the young talent into the team, as he scored 19 points throughout the season, being 15th in the standings right now. And now it's time for Q3. It's the finale of qualifying, I guess we can call it. And Shuto is the first man out on track. Let's see what the Slovakian man will be able to set. As you already know, Q3 less time, so it means even more position and even better one lap pace. Let's see now who will be on pole this time around. This last time, as you know, it was Enis Barashki. Will he be able to get pole twice in a row? Or will it be someone else? Someone like Klaus maybe, who could be quite crucial if he gets pole. Or someone else, someone that we might not expect. We will find that out later on in the session. Well, I will be able to tell you in about 7 minutes what the answer to that will be. So I'd say let's find out together, shall we? Shooter's on the start lap right now, as we go on board with him. Let's see, down the straight he will start his lap time, followed by someone else who's heading through of 2 cars who just headed through turn 16. Yeah, 5.5 minutes left in the Q1. That will be about half the session, and we'd already have all times to report. But as you know, Q3, if you make a mistake, it's going to be very punishing, especially if it's a long lap. Here our lap is 129, 130, around there. So if we count it from now, the drivers are about 3 or 4 chances, which sounds like a lot in a sport like Formula 1, where it comes down to the smallest of mistakes. Those 3 or 4 laps, well, they turn out to be a very, very small number. So now with all that talking out the way, we're gonna find out what lap time Josef Frederick Schutter will be able to produce, and will it be a lap time good enough that he stays on in P1 like his teammate McIntyre before? As that actually quite shocked me. The first lap on track, and that stayed that stayed pole, well, provisional because it's not the official pole, but that stayed Q2 pole for the entirety of the session. So either that means that McLaren are looking very strong, and I mean they are nonetheless because they're both in the Q3, or it was just a one-lap wonder from McIntyre. But we'll have to find out if he can prove himself a contender for pole position. But let's see what his teammate Shuto, if he is a contender for it as well. It's 1:30.0. Let's see how good that lap time will be in comparison to other lap times. Klaus 1:30.05. Farina 1:29.7. So we get into the 1:29s again. Good lap time by the man in the Ferrari. And now I think around the final corner will be the fourth car this lap. Let's see how fast that will be. It's McIntyre 1:29.9, 2 times behind Farina. So this time he's not on pole provisionally. We're waiting for 6 more cars to set their lap, and for them to tell us how fast they're looking this session. Broster 1:34. Graf 1:29.9, 300s ahead of McIntyre's lap time. Gamba 1:32. He gets himself up in. He gets himself ahead of Broster. Also, it's a new pole sitter 1:29.5. It's Ferrari. I wanted to say 1-2, but no, Johansson splits them up, so it's a Ferrari 1-3. Johansson, who is only 100th of Osanischka. That's a very close. There seems to be a very close qualifying session here. Although one more car left, and I think that car is Parashki. Let's see where he will end up. Ashuto sets another improvement, gets himself up into 4th. Parashki is the only man to still set a lap time. As I think he's coming around the final corner now. Is it him? I'm not sure. Oh, there he is. And he is just behind his teammate Johansson in 3rd. Klaus only in 8th. Not looking good as he is 5 positions off Parashki. He has to find an improvement if he wants to stay close to Parashki heading to the final round, because the points that will be scored here are just as crucial as they will be in Abu Dhabi, of course, because this round just serves as our help to or our reference point for who will line up where in a championship fight, as Graf sets an improvement 1:29.7, just behind Farina. Broster set an improvement as well, I think, although he's still in last place. Although I say last place, but that last place is P10, so already then it would be quite a good result for Alex Broster, who could look to score points once again. He hasn't scored them in 4 races, but will he end the streak now? We'll have to find out. Of course, we can't tell you yet. Now we're looking at Graf as well. Janssen and Graf, of course, Janssen was leading the championship up until, I'm not sure up until when, but the last 3 races have been disasters for Janssen. He's quite lucky to be only 35 points off Klaus and Parashki, as his last 3 race results, from the oldest to the newest, are, and I quote, a disqualification, a non-points finish, and a retirement. So that non-points finish came, of course, from a quali ban in Brazil. But so it's not looking. So from a season that was looking pretty good for Janssen, he was second in the championship, and I think he even led the championship for a short while ahead of Parashki. Now he's 35 points off, just to show you how much, well, a series like Formula 1 can change in the blink of an eye. Now we're looking at Graf. It's only half a minute left in the session. What's the lap time going to be? It's an improvement. It's 1:30.1, I think. Best lap time being a 1:29.7. Now we're looking at Gamba. Oh, it's not an improvement. 2/10 off his best time. So he stays in 9th there. As Nishka's in the pits right now, I guess he will end the session there. Johansson also will not set a new lap time, as coming in then will mean, well, he wouldn't have time to come out and set a flyer. Looking at Shooter now. And he comes back into the pits, so I guess it's Shuto's end of the session as well. Let's look at Farina. Will he come back into the pits? Or will he keep on and try to set a better lap? Maybe get himself to closer with Snishkai. As I say that, the checker flag waves. No, Farina comes back into the pits. Let's look at Parashki now. This could be crucial. Can he snatch away pole from Snishkai? As he will head over the line. No, he can't. It's not an improvement, so Parashki will be at most third, although that is still a good result in relation to his closest championship contender. Alfred Klaus only in 8th right now. Let's look at McIntyre. Can he overtake his teammate Shoot or even overtake more cars and get himself closer to the top spots? No, he stays in 7th after the great Q2 session. Oh, let's see now. Roster. Has he held up Klaus? I'm not sure, but now we're gonna look at both lap times. Let's see what can Klaus do. Can he? Oh no, that's Graf. I'm sorry. I thought that was Klaus, but let's see what can Graf do as well. Oh, it's not an improvement. Maximum 5th for Graf. Browser also doesn't improve. What about Gamba here? Can he get himself ahead of Klaus even? Or McIntyre? We'll have to find out. No, he doesn't. And now, this is crucial. Klaus is only in 8th right now. I hope he doesn't come back to the pits because he desperately needs an improvement to get himself ahead of Parashki. His track, as far as I know, is as clear as day. Let's see now. What will the lap time be? This could be decisive. Alfred Klaus is on pole, and that's an insane lap time from 8th. Alfred Klaus, in the blink of an eye, he sets the pole time, and of course the screen cut away, so I'm not sure what lap time that was. But out of nowhere, after it looked like he was qualifying 8th, Alfred Klaus is on pole position. And I did not see that coming. Of course, lining up in 2nd though, Nishka, great session for the man in the Ferrari. Jesper Janssen is in 3rd, Prachki in 4th, Farina in 5th, Dennis Graf in 6th. So that's furthest down as the championship contenders go. Proster getting himself into Q3 was only able to stay in 10th, but I wouldn't judge him because that is still a very good result for the man in the Williams. Let's see if he will be able to turn it into a points finish. Then we have the two McLarens of Shooter and McIntyre, who were looking quite promising early on in the session. Now only 7th and 8th. So that is quite interesting. But soon enough, we will go down to the grid. And we'll go from top to the bottom. And then we'll head on to the main event. The race, which will decide, I mean, it could decide a championship if one of the two contenders DNFs, but it will decide how our championship contenders will go into Abu Dhabi. Will Johansson or Graf be able to get themselves back into the fight? Who will be ahead, Parachki or Klaus? Right now it could look like it could be Klaus, but can Parachki catch up to him? Can he stay close enough? So many questions, as well as the Constructors Championship. Who will be ahead, Mercedes or Red Bull? There's so many questions, but I have one answer for all of that, guys. And that answer is, well, our second Qatar Grand Prix. That will give us, just kind of like a guru, this Grand Prix will give us all the answers we need for our championship fight. And I'd say, guys, I'm pretty excited because there's so many things to be decided, so many spots, not only the championship as well, also aside from it, so much to be decided. It's been such an eventful year, and it's not over yet, of course. This is just one more step until we will eventually be in Abu Dhabi. But for now, we still have to get this doubleheader done, and we'll see what results we get out of it. Now then, I'd say we go through the grid, and on pole position, out of nowhere, it seemed like, he was sitting in 8th, Alfred Klaus. And on 2nd place, we have Lamensas Nisha, great lap from the man in the Ferrari. And further down, we have the two Mercedes of Jesper Johansson and Ennis Prachki in 4th. We'll be looking to make up a lot of positions to catch up to Alfred Klaus. Then we have Luca Farina in 5th, Dennis Graf in 6th, the two McLarens of Josef Fredrik Schuto and Lewis McIntyre in 7th and 8th. Franco Gamba in 9th, and Alex Broster, a Q3 entry for him, and he's in 10th. Erik Aderberg now outside the points in 11th. Björn Esch in 12th. Thomas Manjic is in 14th, and Wojtek Kulasic is in 14th. Alexander Arnold is in 15th. Then we head to the Q1 exits. It's Fernando Tost in 16th, Daniel Wall in 17th, Will Parrish in 18th, and in 19th and 20th we have the Haas's. Now, it's 20 drivers, but only one who will come out on top. As now we're gonna see the 3, 4, 5, 6 lights, the engines roar, and in a moment now the Grand Prix will go underway. Lights out in Qatar. Alfred Klaus seems to be getting a good start. I think Johansson got a good getaway as well, but no, that's Sanishka going to the inside of Klaus. And seems like Klaus was able to hold on to the lead. Yes, and there's a crash in the back, and that's Graf around, and I think Parachke as well. Well, that's a big accident, and that's all the grid caught up. I'm not sure if there's gonna be a red flag or not. Oh, and that's a red flag. That's a big accident. But I think due to that, the order of the race, it will be restarted as now the lights will go underway immediately. Oh no. And we go underway once again. Alfred Klaus seems to be getting a good getaway. I can't see the cars from here, but oh, now we see them. Labasnishka, he gets a better start. He's right on the inside of Alfred Klaus. Can he get the lead into the first turn? Yes, Labasnishka is into the lead. It's a bad start for Alfred Klaus. He's now challenging with Parashki for second place. This is for the championship, I have to mention. Klaus is ahead of Parashki. Now Johansson will go down the inside of Enis Parashki. No, he's just having a look there. But Zazirka is your new race leader. McIntyre, I think, managed to get ahead of Shuto. Well, what is happening down the field? Brosser up into 9th. The McLaren still battling here. Shuto and McIntyre going side by side. But yes, Zazirka is your new race leader. Gets a better start than he had at the first attempt. FG and Alberg here battling as well. Some more changes down in the field. This time no accident, and that's FG now down the inside and then round the outside. Let's see what comes out of this battle. Toss could have a look as well. Let's see now what comes out of this. FG trying his best to snatch that P11 away from the Swiss man. It looks to be very close. Now this sort of triple apex, FG has to line up behind, and it's only 12 for him. Although good attempt from the man. Kulasic now trying to challenge Tost. Parrish though had a good start, managed to get himself up 2 places. Now he's challenging Arnold who went down 2 places. But now let's look at this. Now Klaus is gonna go down the inside onto the second lap. Will he be able to snatch the lead away from Sasnishkai? They go side by side. It's very close racing, but I think Klaus has got it. Yeah, Klaus is now back into the lead. So Sasnishkai just had a short-term lead there. Although good effort from the Serbian. He's still in the challenge. Oh, and that's Parrish out. We didn't see that, but Parrish is out of the race. Let's take a look at what happened. Oh, contact with Arnold. Spins around. Contact with, I think one of the Haas's that was there. Oh no, contact with Wade. And that's now Parrish out of the race. Not his best weekend this time around. And it ends quite a disastrous fashion, but he'll have to come back next week. But now, there's Sasnishka splitting the 2 main championship contenders, Klaus and Parashki. So right now, Klaus is in a pretty good spot here, as he would be getting the championship lead, 9 points ahead of the Macedonian. Although if Parashki does overtake Lavan Sasnishka, Alfred Klaus still would be in the championship lead. Although then only by 6 points, which would be quite an interesting gap for the season finale. But I think Parashki wants to make the most out of this race. He knows it's crucial. He knows a lot of things will be decided here at the penultimate round. But Sasnishkai does not want to let a podium slip. Sasnishkai, who hasn't been on the podium for about 7 races. I think. No, it's been 6 races. This is his 7th. Although he could change here at his 7th podiumless race. But as I say that, Parashki and Janssen are both looking close. Now Parashki will try and head down the inside. Can he overtake the man in the bright red Ferrari with his dark Mercedes? Oh, it's side by side, beautiful racing, and Sasnishka has once again been overtaken the same way Alfred Klaus overtook him, and that's Parashki now up into 2nd. And now we're looking at Johansson. Will he be able to overtake Sasnishka as well and chase after his teammate? although Farina is looking like he could be in the challenge as well. Then we have Graf looking a bit further back there in 6th, and the two McLarens following as well. The field still very close to each other, except for Albon and Fraser being quite far away from Wale. Then we're looking at Alberg here, trying to get P10 away from Gamba. Gamba, who did start in P9, but was overtaken by Broster. So Broster now up into P9 and Gamba down 1 place. He would still be throwing 1 point, and I'm sure he does not want to let that to give that 1 point up to Erik Alberg. So as you know, it's time to fight for it. We'll have to see how this ends up. Of course, now we're on to lap 3, and soon enough we'll head on to lap 4. Johansson is looking very close to Sasnishka. Sasnishka, who had a very good start, now seems to be dropping off a bit, and could be dropping out of the podium places. He's already 1.3 seconds behind Klaus, behind Parashki, and could this turn out into a fight for the lead, which would also be crucial for the championship. And now let's look at this now. Johansson wants to get his Mercedes onto the podium as well, as we'll head down the inside into turn 1 once again. Will Sasnishka fall for it the 3rd time, or will be able to defend? It seems like Johansson has gotten the place onto him. Yeah, and now the Ferrari's battling. Farina trying to move there down the inside, but backs off of it. Of course, you don't want to raise your teammate too hard, or it would end into contact. But yes, Sasnishka now is out of the podium spots. Let's see if he will be able to get onto them later on in the race. But for now, it's a double podium for Mercedes. But still, one man they have to beat, and that man is Alfred Klaus. Right now, live championship update for you guys. It is Alfred Klaus 6 points ahead of Parashki, and Johansson and Graf would be excluded from the championship right now with this result. For the Construction Championship, Red Bull would be 2 points ahead of Mercedes, only 2. Quite an interesting situation here. But I say we highlight a very interesting battle here, as Parashki is only 4 tenths behind Klaus. Now with DRS as well, will he be able to use that onto the straight and then into turn 1? We'll be able to see a lead change here this early on in the race. Although I don't want to say anything, as you know, the commentator's curse, it might not happen or it might happen. But I'm just trying to state a bit of my own predictions. But my predictions will have an answer now, as we head down the straight. DRS wide open for the Macedonian. This is crucial. This could impact a lot here. As Parashki, he's gonna head down the inside. Yes, he does head down the inside. It's Klaus v Parashki. This is crucial for the championship. But now, let's see what will the result of it be. Parashki gets into the lead. He's up into P1 in the Qatari Grand Prix. Your new race leader, Enis Parashki. And now Graf is battling Sasnishka as well. But that's crucial now. Klaus now will be behind Parashki in the championship standings. And I'm sure he will want to get that P1 back. Now then, Graf was able to get the position onto Sasnishka. Farina was also able to get the position onto Sasnishka. I missed that. So Sasnishka dropping all kinds of places. Quite unfortunate, as he did have quite a great start. And could the the McLarens try and steal that 6th place and then 7th place away from him as well? We'll have to find out. It's quite an eventful first 5 laps. And I have to catch my breath real quick. Okay, breath caught. Now we're gonna jump right back into the action. Parashki has already pulled a 1.2 gap onto the Swede Alfred Klaus. And that's crucial, I'd say, because now Alfred Klaus is out of the championship, but he's out of DRS range. And I'm gonna actually, this is quite an interesting situation here. Can Johansson overtake Klaus and help his teammate out? Because if he overtakes Klaus, of course, that would mean a bigger gap that Parashki can head into the final round. Will Johansson go for it? No, he stays behind for now. Although he was very, very, very close behind the man in the Red Bull. Now as we're looking through the field, there's a battle here. Arnold v Kulasec, for P15 that is. Arnold getting back into his original starting spot. And there you go. He's up into 15th. Good stuff from the German. And as I predicted, it is that turn 1 is quite an interesting overtaking spot. We've seen, I'd say 90% of the overtakes happen there. And now Johansson very close to Klaus. Klaus 1.6 off of Parashki. He seems like after the overtake he just dropped off pace massively. Because a 1.6 gap in a situation like this is quite a big one. But now then, we're heading through Sector 2, this is here. Janssen is looking quite close to Klaus. He doesn't have to worry about Farina, he's 1.5 behind. So I'm pretty sure he's thinking, why not? Let's get up into P2 and make it a Mercedes 1-2 as well, which would be quite a big hit in the championship fight as well, in the construction championship fight. So now, what will you be able to do, Jesper Johansson? As I think you will give me an answer. Now heading down the straight soon enough as they're going through turn 16. It's a battle of the Swedes, but who will come out on top? Now onto lap 7. Johansson will head down the inside. This is crucial once again. Can Johansson help his teammate out? Well, he gets the move done before the turn. And Johansson is up into P2. Great stuff from the Swede. And Johansson comes out on top. And now we have a battle again. Sasnishka Vishuto. Sasnishka drops another place. It's not looking good for Sasnishka there. He's down to 7 after such a great start. And now McIntyre will try and get the Serbian as well. Looking at FG here. Now we're having a look at Arnold, who is quite close behind Tost. Close to is just behind Mandic. He did make up some positions after starting P16. Now then, quite an interesting, actually quite a big midfield group here, I have to admit. Getting quite interesting. Give me just 2 seconds. Okay, just have to cough a little bit. But now I'm back, so sorry about that. We jump right back into the action. Let's see now. Looking at FG, who was battling with Gamba beforehand. Or no, I think Adelberg actually got the place onto Gamba. I might have missed that. But Adelberg now is sitting in P10. So Gamba is outside the points. I'm not sure. I might have missed that, but I'm not sure where. But now, and the situation turned even worse for Sasnishka after starting P2, getting up to P1. Now he's down to P7. And now McIntyre will maybe push it down to P8. Now he goes down the inside, battling very close to each other. And McIntyre is up into P7. And this is not looking good for Lava Sasnishka here. And now there's another battle. Gamba is fighting the two Aston Martins. But I think it's clearer than both. And now the two Aston Martins are fighting. It's Mandic v Tost. Mandic out of the two. Arnold could get involved as well. Let's see now Tost trying to move down the inside. Very close racing between the two teammates. Toss now around the outside, be able to get the better line. We'll have to find out. As they will head into turn 7, that is. Now I'm not sure actually, but now they go through turn 8, then turn 9. Toss and Mandic still side by side. They're not giving up. Oh, I think there was a bit of contact there as well, a bit of nudging. And now Tost finally gets to... No, I'm not gonna say finally because it's still close. But I think now Tost has cleared Mandic, and that's Mandic down to 14th and Tost +1 up to 13th. Great battle there between the two Aston Martins, I have to say. You do love to see it, respectful. I think there was no contact, although that looked like a bit of touching back then. But I might be wrong, although it didn't end in too big of a disaster, as the two managed to carry on the battle quite cleanly. Now then, Adelberg, after starting outside the points in P11, will be able to try and move onto Broster. Broster, who is chasing Sasnishka, who is not the best on pace right now. Could Broster get himself up into P8 potentially? That question will be answered on a later lap. Now we're looking at Mandic. Can he get back onto P13 after we just saw him get overtaken by Tost in quite an exciting battle? Or will Tost be able to distance himself from his teammate and overtake Gamba for P12? We won't know that just yet, but I'd say this is a quite interesting battle here for P8. We have Sasnishka, Brostel, Adelberg, FG. Quite an interesting group. As we're on to lap, we're on lap 9 right now. I can't speak, sorry about that. Further ahead, we do find McIntyre as well, although I think he's out of the picture for now. Alcidaris now they will head through turn 15 and then into turn 16 soon enough. Here they are going through the long. No, I'm sorry, that was the wrong corner. I was looking at the minimap on the wrong side of it, but now they're heading into turn 16. Sorry about that. And I have one question for you guys. Will Broster be able to get that move onto Sasnishkai? Let's see what kind of answer Broster gives us. As he heads onto the straight. I'm not sure if he's close enough. Let's see. He doesn't manage to get the move down. But he had a look, I think. But Broster now stays in P9. But here's a battle now. Toss now gets ahead of Gamba. We didn't see all of that, but I'm pretty sure you guys know how that move went on. I think Toss went down the inside and then got the move onto Gamba. And now Gamba is under pressure by Mandic. Let's see if Mandic can follow his teammate who just overtook the man in the Alpine. As they head through turn 6 now and then up into turn 7 after this mini straight here. Seems like Mandic is not close enough to Franco Gamba, so he'll have to stay behind for now. Another thing I want to highlight, Johansson is 2.6 seconds behind Parashki and Klaus is 1.5 seconds behind Johansson. And for the championship, that means Klaus is 11 points behind Enis Parashki. Johansson is 42 points behind, so would be out of the championship fight. And Graf would be 53 points behind. So quite the interesting predicament. As that would close down the title fight to only 2 contenders. But let's see now, can Graf overtake Luca Farina, the man in the Ferrari? Oh, he's having a look down the inside. Although Farina defends well and keeps his place. Now then, Broster will try and move down the inside of Sasnishka. Sasnishka will not lose another place, will he now? No, I'm wrong. I'm not that wrong actually, because they're heading now side by side through turn. Heading through turn 3, and then they will head into turn 4 and turn 5. Is Broster ahead? He seems to be, but no, Sasnishka is still there around the outside. Alberg and FG fighting in the background as well. Per P10 that is. Now then, Broster is still on the outside of Sasnishka. No one's giving up on this battle, as well as the battle behind. I think though Alberg has kept his place. Let's see how this battle ends now between the two, between Sasnishka and Broster. They head through turn 8, turn 9, very close racing, and then it's a turn 10. Can Broster get the place? He's on the outside still. It's a race of power here, heading into turn 12. There's still side by side. It's been nearly a whole lap now. But I think Sasnishka clears Broster. Yes, he does. He stays in front. Good defending from the Serbian, although this is not the spot he wants to be in. And now Broster is under pressure by Adelberg for P9 as they will head into the final turn. Let's see, as they might end up side by side onto the straight. Who will get the DRS of the two? I think only Adelberg got it, and that means that Adelberg now is up into P9 and Broster down to P10 again. And now FG pressures Broster. Can Broster drop out the points completely in just a span of one lap? FG gets the spot up into P10. Great racing, but that means Broster is now out of the points. And now he's got the two Aston Martins of Tost and Mandic behind him. After it was looking very promising, Broster now has to work his way up again into the points playing positions. Although that is easier said than done when you have two very hungry teammates in those British racing green Aston Martins behind you. As I think they're fighting a bit themselves. So let's see how the situation will end up. Now then, battle for P3 where Klaus is involved. So if Klaus loses out to any more positions, would mean he will have an even bigger gap to Parashki heading into the final round, and I'm not sure he wants that. But let's see if Farina and Graf, ironically Graf, will be able to spoil the party for Klaus. Although this, I would say, this is quite a sad party, as he would be losing points onto Parashki. but Farina and Graf could make that even worse. Although let's see if Red Bull will try and keep Klaus ahead, or if they'll will let them race freely. Now then, it's first off we have Klaus v Farina. Can Farina get himself into the podium spots? He will go now down the inside. This is crucial for the championship once again, as they will head through turn 1, and Luca Farina is up into 3rd, and now Klaus is under pressure by Graf, and they go side by side into turn 3, and then into turn 4 they will head. Who will be ahead of the two Red Bulls, as Klaus seems to stay ahead of Dennis Graf. I know Graf is still on the outside. Will this be a lap-long battle once again? Graf seems to be on the inside. Yes, he is. He is just a bit ahead of Alfred Klaus. Klaus, though, does not want to give up such a crucial spot, especially not to his teammate. But I think Graf has done it. Yeah, Graf is up into P4. And now this went from bad to worse for Alfred Klaus. After he started on pole, he is now down to 5th. And for the championship, that just means, well, that's a big change, as now Parashki, live championship standings update, he's 16 points ahead of Alfred Klaus. And now we're looking at this. Now Sasnishka could lose another position to FG. Oh, what does this race turn into for Sasnishka? As he loses the place to FG, now he's under pressure by Broster again, and Sasnishka drops out of the points. I don't know what has happened to Laban Sasnishka, but after starting so well, he has dropped out of the points completely. And I mean, I'm running out of breath here, but I have another battle to commentate on, and that's Arnold v Tost. Arnold, who would like to join his teammate onto those spots further ahead and get himself closer, as we could maybe see a double Williams points finish. Who knows? But now then, it's Mandic against Sasnishka with two ex-teammates. Ironically, ex-teammates from this season as well. Now Mandic will go down the inside. Sasnishka is losing all kinds of places since the start. At this rate, he might end up in last, and Mandic gets ahead. It's 12 for Slavan Sasnishka. This is absolutely shocking. I think he might have some damage to his car, and I'm not sure why he's losing this much pace. Now then, we're looking at Vuelta Kulosec just behind Franco Gamba. The two Alpines not having the best of races right now, going pointless, which would be quite compromising to their constructors' battle against AlphaTauri. Album just behind them. So we're looking here, as there's quite a big, I think quite a big split from the drivers in from 9th to 19th, and then we have the top 8 all of sorts in one pack. But I'd say we head down to the front again. Now then, the tables might turn, because Johansson could overtake Enis Barashki here. But I won't say now, because he's still 1 second off of his Macedonian teammate. And that is not enough to get into DRS range. Oh, let's look at this now. Mandic v Boston. Mandic could get himself into the points paying positions. Round the outside he goes into the last turn. And now full power to the throttle. Let's see. It's a drag race to the first turn. I think both have I'm not sure who has DRS here, but let's see how it looked like looking to the first corner. And I think Mandic here has cleared Broster, and there's oh, and now Sasnishka goes down to 13th. Arnold has overtaken Laban Sasnishka. I have no clue what's happening to Laban here, but he might get overtaken by Tost as well here now. Now then, it's lap 15, about I'd say half the race, even though half the race, to be precise, will be on lap 16. But I'm quite shocked what is happening to Laban Sasnishka after getting the lead onto lap 1. He's now down in 13th, not even in the points. It's quite shocking to me. I'm sure it is quite shocking to you guys as well. Now then, Johansson. Very interesting situation here. It has developed very interestingly. Johansson now is in DRS range of his teammate. If he overtakes Parashki here, he could indirectly help Alfred Klaus in to get himself closer to the man who is currently P1 in the standings. Now then, DRS open. It's well, dark arrow battle here. Let's see how it would look like into the first turn. Johansson, of course, doesn't try a move yet. Pretty wise, because he was quite far behind his teammate. Although now he's closed down the gap by 4 attempts, and I think he will have a go next lap. Look at this now, Arnold Starting 15th, he's now in 12th. He might challenge his teammate Broster here. 4P11. Let's look at Toast here. Can he make Sasnishka's day even more miserable? And if he will, he won't do it just now because he still stays behind the Serbian. Now then, I say we look at Arnold here. This is going to be a Williams battle. Let's see which of the two will get in front. Into the field. Oh, I'd say this is one big highlight here of the race. It's once again the Dark Arrows battling in the desert, although not Bahrain this time, like in 2014. This time it is a Dark Arrow battle in the desert of Qatar. Here in Losail, we might see one happening soon enough. As they head through turn 15, Johansson is 0.6 off of Parashki, now heading through the final turn. Jesper Johansson will have DRS, and this could turn out crucial to the championship fight once again. Johansson now with DRS. Will he go for a move? I'm not sure, as he's quite far behind. Yeah, he stays behind for now. He'll have to get himself even closer to his teammate, although Parashki is trying his best to stay ahead. Now then, we cut back to the Williams battle. Arnold now with DRS. He's 0.4 off of Proster. He might see an overtake into turn 1. As they fly down the straight. Let's see, what will Alexander Arnold be able to do? Nothing just yet. And now Toast is gonna go for a move down the inside of Sasnishkai. Sasnishkai's days couldn't get worse, can it? It can get worse. He's down into 14th, and now Gamba is pressuring him. I am perplexed, to use quite a difficult word, of what is happening in Sasnishka, because now he's behind Gamba as well. And now Kurasec is gonna try and move onto Sasnishkai. I have no clue what's happening to the Serbian. He might have damage, but losing this many places, I mean, he's gone down 15 spots in 17 laps. That is quite shocking. Although his teammate, Luca Farina, doesn't seem to be doing too bad right now. 1.2 ahead of Graf and 5 points behind Johansson. So right now in a half no man's land. But it would be scoring a point for the Italian-based team. Now then, we're looking at Kurasec. Can he join his teammate? Can he rejoin his teammate as they weren't split before? They are split now because Gamba made that move to Sasnishka. As they're going through turn 13 and then into turn 15, and eventually they will go into turn 16 now. Will Sasnishka's days get even worse? Quite an interesting question. I wouldn't think to be saying that after such a good qualifying position. But now then Kurasec with DRS. Not close enough, so he stays behind for now. Of course, a typhoon from there would have been so wise. Wouldn't have been so wise. I see Graf there catching up to Farina, although just outside of the DRS zone. Johansson is still close to Parashki, although he hasn't tried a proper move just yet. Maybe Mercedes have told him to stay behind, as this is very crucial for the championship. As I told you, he would be 16 points ahead of Alfred Klaus. So now, let's see if Johansson has actually gotten team orders, of course, because we don't really know that, or if Jesper Johansson will try. If Mercedes have told Jesper Johansson that they can race freely, and Johansson will try and move, although right now he's 8 times off. Seems like Parashki is still on the base, so it's not going to be the easiest of jobs for Johansson to take the win here. Right now, would be showing a podium, which would be pretty good after his past 3 race results. Right now, WTR is open. Not sure a move will happen there, and we cut back to the battle for P12. As Arnold was challenging Broster before, but nothing came out of that battle, and now he's under pressure by Fernando Tost. Will Fernando Tost be able to split the 2 Williams? We'll have to find out, as his teammate is in P10. He would like to join him up there in the points playing positions. We'll find out if he has what it takes to do so. As now, will he head down the inside? Oh, he's having a look, and maybe will he commit to it? No, he doesn't commit to it just yet. but that was very close and definitely a message to Arnold that, hey, I'm here, and we might see a move happening soon enough. Although now it's lap 19 out of 32, seems like this race has flown by, at least for me. Now we cut back to a battle for the podium here. Farina would like to score a podium once again, as his last podium happened at the Mexico Grand Prix three races ago, where he scored a win even. The Johansson disqualification. Farina, who of course has had a very good final part of the season after joining Ferrari to replace Thomas Mandic. Now then he will be able to score his second podium of the season, if he can keep Dennis Graf behind him. Right now though, I don't think Graf will be getting DRS. I'm not sure where he got the activation because he's right on the line of 1.0. I don't think he got DRS there though, so he'll have to stick around for one more lap. Or maybe two, but it depends on how quick on the pace he is today. Now then, looking at Tost. Once again, close to Arnold, 0.3. I think we're ready for another battle here into turn 1. Let's see if I will be proven right. As with DRS wide open, he's already lining up for the move. Fernando Tost now will go down the inside. Can he get the move down before the straight? Yes he can, and that's Fernando Tost up into 12. Simple but clean move, and now he's onto the other Williams of Alex Proster. Now we're looking at Wale and Fraser having a battle for P18 here, as Wale, after contact with Parrish earlier on, probably has held up Fraser a bit. But now then, I say we cut back from the bottom of the field to the top of the field, because look at this now. Johansson, if he can keep this gap of 0.5, he can pose a very big threat to Enis Parashki in the lead right now. We're on to lap 20, only 13 laps to go, so about 2/3 of the race done. And let's see if Johansson can keep this gap 0.5. I'm gonna keep you updated here. 0.5, 0.4. You can see he's very close. 0.5 through the corner now with DRS. Will we see a lead change, or will Johansson stay behind his teammate once again? He's having a bit of a look there, but I think he will stay behind. Yes, Johansson stays behind, but he's brought himself to 0.3 behind his teammate, and if he can keep this gap, Parashki will have to start looking in his mirrors. Left, right, left, right. Now then, we cut back to Tost. A man on the charge, it seems like, as he's already very close to Broster. Can he get a second overtake on the Williams for the second time in a row in consecutive laps? And now we see then, will he line up on the inside? Yes, he does. Doesn't seem like he will be able to commit. Yep, the gap was closed down effectively by Alex Broster, so he has to stay down. Well, yes, stay behind. But clearly a message that he's there. And now then, I say the battle is truly on here. Or is it? I won't say anything too soon, as now they're heading into turn 10. It's a very close battle here between Johansson and Parashki. Let's see how this battle will end up. Of course, Mercedes would already be scoring a 1-2, but they don't want the two Mercedes to crash into each other, like it happened in a certain real-life race. I'm not sure what that race might be, but we don't talk about that, as we're gonna now see them going through turn 16. Johansson now only 0.4, so 1/10 closer to Parashki. I think this will be it now, will it? As we head down the straight, Johansson has his DRS wide open, and now he heads down the inside. The battle is on now. Johansson will be able to steal the lead away from Enis Parashki. They're side by side. Johansson is the new race leader, and I think Parashki had a bad exit there. And now Parashki, let's see how far behind he is. He's 1 second behind there as well, but Johansson is in the lead of the Qatari Grand Prix. Oh, and just a clean and effective move there into turn 1. And now, this is actually very good for Alfred Klaus, as it will only be 9 points behind Enis Parashki. So it makes the situation a bit less dramatic, although he still has quite a gap to make up, because he's kind of in no man's land after starting from pole, so quite shocking. But let's highlight one more battle here, for the podium still that is, but for P3, it's between Farina and Dennis Graf. Farina, who would like to score a second podium this season, and Graf, who would like to score a podium in general, as he did score a podium. He did score a P3 last race in Qatar. Will we see a repeat of that? Let's see what the two of them will be able to give us as a result as they head in through turn 14 there, and then into turn 15. Very nice section of corners, and then into the last turn. With a gap of 0.6, Graf will open his DRS, 0.7 more, but I don't think a move will be made, although let's stay with this battle here for now. Let's see if anything comes out of it. Graf will close down the gap, but no, Dennis Graf stays behind for now, although the DRS has helped him get closer and closer to the man he wants to challenge for a potential podium. Now then we cut back to Fernando Tost, still chasing down Alex Proster, so Proster has put on a good defense, but now with a gap like that, 0.3, and Tost with his DRS open, will be able to see a change here in P11 as he's gonna head down the inside to turn 1. We've seen this often before. Will it work? Fernando Tost will give us the answer to that soon enough, and yes, it will work, although not quite, because Proster fights back, but on the outside line, I think Tost has the position. Don't count him out just yet, as Proster was trying to find the gap, trying to put his car in a gap to get through into P11 again, but he has to give up, and he's down to 12, and Tost +1 once again, and he's cleared both Williamses, and now he could chase down his teammate Mandic for a potential point, although Aston Martin probably don't want too much fighting. But first, before he wants to do that, he needs to clear Alex Proster here, as Alex Proster is still very close to Fernando Tost here. Of course, Proster with good pace today has dropped out of the points, but he wants to try to salvage what he can from this race. So let's see if he can re-overtake the Polish man for P11. As for now, we won't have an answer to that. As I guess I can finally breathe once again. Can I do that? Oh, I can. As the waters have calmed down, but I'm sure we'll get close to 100 degrees Celsius once again, and the water will start boiling. As you know, it is with Formula 1. There's always something boiling, always an overtake going on. And now Sasnishka, could he finally get an overtake after being overtaken so many times? Can he get a position back? No, but he seems to have gotten his pace back. So Gamba could feel a threat now under the name of Lavan Sasnishka. Sasnishka would try, well, definitely wants to salvage something from this race after such a good start. I was shocked by it. Managed to get ahead of Klaus, and then dropped position after position after position after position, and down to 15th. I've never seen that before, and I'm not sure if you guys have, but that's quite unique. He must have had some problem. He must have had some problem with his car, and maybe now it's fixed. Although I wouldn't talk too early, as Kulasec is very close behind the Serbian there in 16th. So Sasnishka could drop another position, but I won't talk too early, as we'll have to find out together now. Now on the side note, I'd say Johansson has cemented himself as the race leader, the new one. He has cleared Baracki of 1.6 seconds, and he's doing Klaus a favor, because Klaus of course would have lost 16 points. Now it's only 9, although I say only, but in the final round, knowing how competitive the two of those are, 9 points is quite a big gap. So Klaus right now 5 seconds of his teammate Graf. He will want to try and find any way to make the seconds up, although he has a quite a comfortable gap behind him there. Shoot, 5 seconds off. Here we're gonna have a look. Arnold was trying to make a move, but no, he stays there. EP13. Seems like the race has gone quiet. If I spot any battles, it seems like the McLaren guys are pretty close to each other. McIntyre only 6/10 behind his teammate Shooter. We might see a switch between the two. But for now, yeah, the status quo remains. Lap 25 out of 32. It's 8 laps remaining of a very eventful Qatar Grand Prix. And I'd actually be a bit sad that it goes away, because we had so many overtakes this race. And so many questions getting answered, although we'll see now how this race will end up at the end of it, and it will give us our our standings heading into Abu Dhabi. But before that, some overtakes are still to be made. For example, here, let's look at E. McIntyre now. If he can try and move onto shooter, I guess McLaren will let them fight freely. He's 0.4 off. Can he get the move done? Now, onto the main straight. DRS wide open. Will he get himself close enough? Not sure. I thought he was going to try a late move there, but no. He stays behind for now. Might try again next lap. And we cut back to, I guess, quite a big field here. From P11 ranging down to P16 even. We're looking at Arnold, who could try and move down his teammate. No. They stay in the positions they were before. And now then, we cut back to a battle I mentioned before, but he seems to have come back alive now. It's Dennis Graf, we look at Farina once again. And one more, we have to mention, Parachki has caught back up to Johansson. Can Parachki better his situation, make his situation better, as he wants to get quite a comfortable lead heading to the last round. This win could be crucial for Enis Parachki, I'm telling you. But pretty sure Johansson will not want to give that up, as they were rivals not only last season but also in mid-season, at the start of the season. They were the two fighting for the championship. But then after Klaus came in and introduced himself to the championship fight. Now then, as we head to the last corner, I think Parashki is a bit too far behind, but let's stay with them. Let's see if he will pull a potential dive bomb, or if he will stay behind and just catch up to the man in front. He does the ladder, and it's a 0.4 gap now. He'll have to keep up for the lap. Although Graf now could change the podium spots here. He's onto the inside of Farina. Farina defends on the outside, and I think that's a pretty rare case where a move down the inside doesn't work in turn 1. So Farina defends well from Dennis Graf, although Dennis Graf is so close behind the entire man in the Ferrari. Let's see if he'll be able to do anything else. Throughout the lap, it's a 0.2 gap, and it's a 0.3 gap between Parashki and Janssen as well. As we take a look at this as well. Very exciting times here for the podium here in Qatar. Exciting battles all over the place, but we're looking at a move here from Lavan Sasnishkai. Finally, he decides to go for a move, although it comes out unsuccessfully. I'm sorry, and he has to stay in 15th. Now then, as the two Mercedes will go through turn 12 and through turn 13, and then into turn 14. You know, the triple apex, and then into turn 15. It's very close. Can Parashki keep a steady gap of 0.4, which would be, I think, good enough to catch up on the straight. And now then, what will it be? Will it be Johansson leading, or will it be Parashki leading? It's a 0.2 gap. Parashki with the DRS. Is he gonna go down the inside? Yes, Parashki goes down the inside. It's lap 28. Will we get another lead change? Parashki down the inside. They're side by side, the two Mercedes. Who will be out on top? Parashki is in the lead once again. And we have a battle again as well. Graf with Farina, who comes out on top. Graf is in P3, Farina P4, but Parashki is your new race leader once again. And this is crucial for the championship once again, as now he's 16 points clear of Alfred Klaus. Klaus' day just got worse. And of course, Graf going for a consecutive third place finish. After Farina kept that third place for so long, Graf has finally disrupted that status from the podium, and is now up into third. Now look at this battle here. I see Gamba, Kulasec, and Sasnishkai battling each other. Sasnishkai got up into 14th, so he's finally got back some of his power. I think he might have lost some power there before. Honestly, I'm still clueless about what happened, but Sasnishkai gets himself up into 14th and tries to salvage something here. But another thing I want to highlight, Farina is very hungry for that podium, and he's not dropped out of the DRS zone yet. So I'd say we analyze the situation now as they're going through. They went through turn 15, and now they head through turn 16. Farina with a 0.6 gap. Could we see a change for P3 once again? Now the DRS flap goes wide open, onto the rear wing. Farina now will catch up. 0.6. I think now might be into 0.5 now, but no move is made. As the video might have been a bit too bold to try and move there, but Farina's trying his best to stay behind the German. Sorry. Behind the German. And try and get his podium back after he's kept it for nearly all race long. I'm not sure he wants to lose it now. Not like this. But we all know the quality of those two drivers, so it's going to be a battle to look forward to. Now then, Paraschke has cleared Johansson of 1.2 seconds. So it's looking good for the Macedonian. He seems to be in the best possible situation right now for his title challenge. And I'm not sure if he has the fastest lap or not, but if he has the fastest lap, that would put him 17 points ahead of Alfred Klaus. And that is quite a big gap, I'm telling you. Now then, I say we stay with this battle because it's quite a close one. Farina 0.6 behind Graf. If he makes up enough time, around 0.5 or 0.6 behind the man in the Red Bull, he will be able to try and move onto the straight. So right now it's looking like 0.6. They head through turn 14 and through turn 15. I don't think the gap is enough to be able to try and move. I think our race leader Paraschke will now make it lap 30. There we go. We're now only with 3 laps remaining. Farina now with the DRS. Let's see how much you can close the gap down to. I'm 100% sure it's not going to be a move. And yes, it wasn't. Farina now 0.5 over Graf. So I say let's keep an eye on this battle, because it's quite a close one, and we might see the last podium spot change once again. After they just changed some laps ago. Graf, of course, wanting to make it back to back after. Well, of course, he's had multiple podium finishes this season, 1 win in France. Right now, though, I have to inform you guys on the championship standings. Paraschke is, as I mentioned before, is 16 points ahead of Alfred Klaus. And Johansson and Graf would be officially excluded from the championship fight, even if Johansson would have won, because Johansson is 42 points off and Graf is 48 points off. Although they still be in a fight for P3 between each other. So that will surely be something to look forward to as well. Now then, as Farina and Graf are still indirectly fighting, it's about those times that it's about seeing, I guess we can call it shadow defending, because he's not really defending, but it's all about trying to find the perfect line. Of course, Farina trying to avoid as much dirty air as possible, but still staying behind Graf. Now then, it's a gap once again, as we had it before, 0.6. Farina now with the DRS, he will try and get close to Graf. He's gotten closer, but once again, no move. We're on lap 31, only 2 laps to go. So this exciting Grand Prix, sadly, will have to come to a close. Now then we look at Sasnishkai, Farina's teammate, in a bit of a more disadvantageous situation. He's going to try and get a move done onto Broster, who we took him later on, or earlier on, I'm sorry. Now then, with the DRS, but can Sasnishka get himself up to 13th and salvage something? This is quite a disappointing race for him. The Serbian now goes down the inside. Let's see what it will be. It wasn't enough to commit, so he stays behind for now. Now then, if I'm scanning a bit through the field. FG seems to be close behind Alberg. Farina is still close behind Graf. Of course, Sasnishka is still close behind the Williams driver, that is Broster. But it seems like things will have calmed down a bit, but I'm sure they will heat up once again. As soon enough, our race leader Paraschke will head onto the final lap. Now then we look at FG trying to challenge Adelberg for P8, that is. And just look at that, Johansson has caught back up to Enis Paraschke. Although, is it enough? He's back in the DRS range, but will it be enough to challenge for the lead? I'm not sure. We'll have to find out later on the lap. But now it's the final lap, so you know how I call this. It's now or never. And FG now, he's also trying to get himself one final move onto Erik Adelberg. Erik Adelberg, though, will try his best to make sure that doesn't happen. Now with the DRS, what will Mir and FG be able to do? Will he try and get a move down the inside? Done. Nope, he stays behind. Let's look at Sasnishka with the DRS. Could he get a move onto Broster? Let's see what will happen. Sasnishka now, he's looking likely to go for a move, and he does go for a move down the inside. He's closer this time. How will Broster defend? Will he defend well enough? Will he keep the position? Sasnishka, no, Sasnishka heads up into 13th, and now Broster is under pressure by Gamba and Kulasic. Quite interesting situation here. As now then, we're heading through turn 13 and then 14. He really battled hard this race. He overtook Klaus, he overtook his teammate, then got overtaken again, but then he overtook Johansson once again. Now we're gonna head onto the final corner. Johansson tried his best. I don't know if he did he will be able to catch up, but I think it's done now. Enis Parachki wins the Qatari Grand Prix, and it's crucial for the championship. He's 16 points ahead of Klaus, but today he's your winner. And what a win that was. Johansson in second, Graf in third, Farina could do nothing, Losail on the podium. Klaus, a 5th place that he did not want. Schutter and McIntyre finishing there in 6th and 7th. But yeah, what a race by Enis Parachki. Starting from 4th, managed to work his way all the way up. Mandic there gets the final point. FG, once again a points finish as well. Toss just behind his teammate. Sasnishka, I mean, disappointing race from him after it looked very promising. But then out of nowhere he just lost pace and even more pace. Now we're waiting for Wale and Fraser. So as they, after damage, I'm pretty sure they spent most of the race here down in the last positions. And there we have it. Fraser goes along the line, across the line. And there you have it. Enis Parachki is your race winner. And let's go through the rest of the race results. Of course, he has the fastest lap as well, so it means he's 17 points ahead of Alfred Klaus. Crucial for the championship as we're heading into Abu Dhabi. Johansson is in second. Graf makes up the final podium spot after getting it from Farina. Farina tried everything but eventually could not get it back from the German. Klaus is in 5th, not what he wanted. He wanted a higher position, especially after starting from pole. Then Josef Frederick Schutter and Lewis McIntyre, the 2 McLarens, they're in 6th and 7th. Then we have Erik Adelberg in 8th. Good race after the other AlphaTauri DNF. Then we have FG back in the points once again. Good race from the Swede as well. Then Mandic in P10. Now as we head just outside the points, we have Fernando Tossi's teammate in 11th. Then we have Alexander Aldo in 12th. Lavas Sasnishka, disappointing race, only 13th outside the points. Then we have Alex Prost in 14th. Franco Gamba in 15th. The other Alpino, Wojtek Kulasic in 16th. Then we have Victor Aldo in 17th, Daniel Wale in 18th, then we have Daniel Fraser in 19th, and Parrish DNF'd on, I think, the first or second lap. So, that was it then. We head into the championship with Parachki and Klaus fighting for it. Now then, for my driver of the day, I'll have to give it to Enis Parachki. I mean, started 4th, made up a lot of ground, got overtaken, but then overtook for the lead once again. And I mean, what a drive from Enis Parachki, and just confirms why he is the favorite for the championship fight. Now then, that was it for the ACOC. I hope you enjoyed. Sadly, I can't ask Miriam what his driver of the day was because Miriam was kind of busy today. But without further ado, I'd say we now wait until we head to the season finale in Abu Dhabi. Make sure you don't miss that because that's going to be a very exciting race. Enis Parachki v Alfred Klaus. Who will win? We'll have to find out. But until then, I've been Giuseppe.